name is Anna Silk. For 6 seasons, I played Beau on the hit TV series Lost Girl.
And my name is Rachel Skarsten, and for 3 seasons, I played Tamsin.
Welcome to the Lost Girl Rewatch Podcast,
a show where we will look at all the episodes, share some behind-the-scenes stories,
and chat with some very special guests.
Now, on the show, our relationship was sometimes rocky,
but in life, our friendship is rock solid.
We are so glad that you are here to join us for this trip down memory lane.
We love that the family is back together again. Welcome back to the Lost Girl Rewatch Podcast. This is episode 2, where we will be discussing episodes 3 and 4 of season 2. Rachel, our guest today, are you excited?
Is the one, the only, Vincent Walsh.
Good God.
And actually, those of you who don't know, Vincent and I didn't work together on Lost Girl, but we did work together on another movie, which I had forgotten about.
Which I reminded her of.
Yes. So there's a lovely connection there.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show. We're really
and
excited
as many
to
of you, well, you all know that Vincent played Lachlan, who came in season 2 as the new Ash. And I remember you were in either the first or second episode where you had to win some kind of competition in the woods to become the new Ash.
Yeah.
That was clear. And then you did, I don't remember how many episodes you did, but you did quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is. I think it was pretty much all that season 2. There was a good. I mean, it really popped me in there. I mean, I don't even. I didn't realize I was going to be in so much, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, I mean, and it was kind of like, oh, I'm in this one as well. Oh, and then so it was really a nice.
I can't imagine why they kept putting you in every episode.
Or maybe they realized somebody that was sick at the time. They said, pop him in, get rid of, just let's get him in there anyway. Because
I think it was not that. I think that you rocked that role. I hope you know that. I hope you know that watching this season for me and watching Beau and Lachlan together, I didn't realize. We had really good chemistry, and it was because I was absolutely terrified of you, completely terrified of you, as Beau should have been. But me, Anna, was very intimidated by you because you, in a great way, because you were just this really strong presence to be around.
Oh, look. Well, listen, you give as good as you get. I tell you that. And I mean, it's so long ago when I try to think back, and I skimmed through a couple of the episodes, but listen, when I realized, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, to be honest with you, as sometimes is the case with a lot of these bloody things. You're throwing these things, and the next day go,
Mm-hmm.
But it was, when you're working with good people and you're working with people who know their shit. I mean, you're gonna react. I'm very reactive. If I get something off people or whatever, well, then beautiful. Now I can sink my teeth into that. And when I was working with you, because I was also very sensitive to the fact that you're the lead on this thing. It's non-stop. It's go, go, go. And when you think you've got a moment, no, they don't. They pull you in another direction because that's what it is. I remember being a lead in a couple of these things. And fuck me, your brain is nearly melted, but you're going on. So I was very aware of the fact that the actor that I'm playing opposite here is really fucking, it's not just this scene, it's the whole bloody, you're the show, you are the bloody show. And we come in and pick at you, we play off you. It's that everybody's coming in to play off you.
Yeah, so you're like the sun and everyone else is the planet.
Exactly. And that's an on and off camera.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm very aware of that. I mean, we walk on these sets sometimes, cameras on, we got to look fucking really amazing, kill it, nail it, or do whatever we got to do. But, people on the outside, out of this racket don't realize that, we could be going through a really fucking tough time behind the camera, people, when we have kids, teenagers, all that, that's another aspect. So I'm very aware of that. But I mean, I worked opposite you and I loved it. I really, really, but I was very guarded as well, and I'm very guarded anyway in the real world. It's just the way I'm wired that way, and going on these things on a set such as Lost Girl, very guarded and very, because I guess I kind of had to be anyway. It helped with the character that I was playing, which is interesting, and it's funny. I talked to my girlfriend the other day, and we were talking about it, and she made a very incredible point where, things happen. I'm a firm believer in things happening for a reason. And, a lot of the roles that I get or take on or, self-tape for, it's funny, the ones that I get or the ones that I react to are very, very correlate with what I'm going through with my life.
Interesting.
And it's funny how it's pretty fucking weird. If I look at like my career or whatever, or the resume and you go, Jesus, the parts that I'm playing are very, very, you can really see what I'm going through in my life in the real world, And this guy coming in here, very, very funny enough. You were scared of me. I was intimidated by you.
I mean, that's hilarious to me, but yes, but I mean, it's an environment to step into for sure.
It's an environment to step into, you're on top of your game. You know who the fuck you're playing. You know exactly. And I'm coming in there, a complete outsider. And I didn't, with the exception of maybe one or two directors that I knew, I didn't really know anybody. And so I had to play it like I will go through anybody who comes near me, gets too close. So I had to play it that way, and it worked. But it worked well for the
worked
role.
so well, and I loved how you, like, in watching all of these back, and in particular these episodes, you're very good at just holding space and time with it, like with this energy, and it's very compelling. But it's also it was scary. I just remember being so scared, intimidated, and it was perfect for Beau. But it was exactly what that role needed. And we were so lucky to have you. And we barely met. I mean, what was your audition for the show? Do you remember?
Yeah.
God, I can't remember.
Did you get an offer? Did you put it on tape? Did you have to go in the room?
No. I had to self-tape for that. I'm trying to rack my brains as to.
Self-tape was kind of just starting to be a thing. Before that, I don't.
It wasn't a self-tape. It wasn't. I had to go in. I just trying to.
I know self-tape back then for me was like VHS, and then put it into a bag. And
it would.
Oh my gosh, I remember.
Yes, Purelator. Remember Purelator? In Canada.
well, not that old, Anna.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Well, I remember standing outside directors' doors, going, "I can do it right here.
Right now.
I can do it. Through the letterbox. I can do it right. I can do it right here. Hello. So, scene 1, okay, enters. Hello. but no, it was definitely an in-person audition. Yeah. I can't for the life of me remember where, who, what.
Do you
when.
have any like specific memories that you'd want to share from your time on Lost Girl? They could be good, they could be bad.
It was a long time ago.
Rachel, my memories, I mean, I don't have many memories other than the ones I remember from yesterday.
I actually think that's kind of remarkable because, I mean, rewatching the show, there's a lot I remember. I don't remember story. Like I'm watching it as if like, then what do we do? I can't remember. Like, I just can't remember. What I remember is like what was happening around me. Like very specific things like, oh, we were all waiting for a grilled cheese or so, like it's just ridiculous things. That's what I remember. Or I remember something about the clothing. What I remember working with you is like, I don't even remember like meeting you. I just remember suddenly being in your lair, looking at you and you sort of walking towards me and us finding this very interesting relationship between action and cut, because I feel like I didn't see much of you in between scenes. It's like you disappeared into the lair and then you would come back out. Did you live there while filming? Is that what happened?
I lived up the road. I rented out an Airbnb and I just stayed in there. It was, literally up the road.
Why not?
I just stayed there and I mean, when we met on that first day, and I do recall, I don't remember. I mean, I think we had the introduction. Yes, we had there was a read through of the script or something like that. And I'm sitting at the table and I'm on my guard and I don't know what I'm walking myself into. And I'm just looking at everybody and I'm going, yeah, okay. It's like I guess maybe it's the gangster in me or something, from Dublin and stuff. I was going, right, I think I got him pegged. I don't know. And you're like that. So let's get stuck into it. Let's just do what we got to do. I learn my shit as best as I can and be able to work. And there's Anna there. Okay, fine. I have to really be mindful of what she's going through. Blah 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 blah. She's the lead woman on this job. So, and then when we arrive on set, it's rock and roll time now. It's rock and roll. Don't fuck around. Don't knock over the furniture, and give you what you need, and hopefully we make it through and hit lunch.
And I have to say, I appreciate your mindfulness of what it does take to lead a show. Because, I mean, you can't lead a show without the guests that come on and your co-stars, and you can't. There's nothing to lead.
And by the way, I love walking into jobs where everybody's doing their job and everybody's there to help you out. Because I want to help you out. It's that fucking thing. That's the reason why we got in the racket together. That's why I love doing what we do. And it's all, I sometimes you walk on sets and there's this fucking attitude like, well, I'm going to fucking do this today and I'm going to get around that guy. And I said, no, man, we're here to play. We're here to have a bit of fun. Mm-hmm. You do what you gotta do, I'm always wanting to help out.
I think that's great. I think any of the challenging people and personalities and all that stuff getting involved really should happen between action and cut. I mean, that's what, if you have those impulses, sometimes they don't. They happen behind the scenes and it becomes very stressful. And
well, it's
way too short and fast. Coming on to an existing cast is a challenging thing to do. You're coming into a tight-knit group. You don't know what you're stepping into. Are there particular challenges with that for you? I know you've done that on several shows. And were there any particular challenges to coming onto Lost Girl that you can remember?
Well, I tell you what, I mean, I think it's just par for the course of, no matter how long you've been in this racket, you're always, your trepidations, your anxieties, and it's how we tackle them. And walking on to a show when everybody's starting together is always a much nicer feeling because we're all walking on here on a tightrope together. Mm-hmm. And then we find ourselves and we're all getting to know each other. And there's that natural progression of becoming where one hopes to become comrades on the ship. So, but, walking into as a guest on things, I fucking nearly, want to cry.
Me too.
When I see them.
Me too. It's so intimidating.
I just want to go into a corner and say,
I feel the opposite. I feel the exact opposite. When I start something with everyone, it makes me nervous because I'm like, okay, so we're all kind of it's like when you're first dating someone and you're 20 and you're like not really being yourself, and so I'm like, I mean, they seem cool now, but like, who knows, when I come on to something that's already established, everyone's shit's already out there, so you're coming in and you kind of see everything for what it is. And then you can size it up and proceed, as you see it.
You're so fucking smart, Rachel. I swear to God.
I wish I could have that.
That's the way to look at it. But I try to go, no. But then I just go, no, I don't want to do.
No, but it's good also because you're not part of any of the drama, if there is any, so you can just kind of glide.
Rachel, you were really good at walking away from drama always, because a lot of drama I find on set can happen in the hair makeup trailer. And I mean, we had a very happy hair makeup trailer, but if there's any gossipy things starting to happen, it's always in that trailer. And Rachel would be the first one to be like, all right, I'm out of here, and just walk out. And I'd be like, wow.
It's also but that's also because I actually hate hair and makeup. Yeah. like, just sitting in that chair and people poking. I loved our hair and makeup people, but that's just across like par for the course. I just do not like that part of our job. It feels the most laborious to me out of anything that we do. So part of it is just that. I just can't wait to get out of there.
Rachel, you and me both. I mean, no matter how nice you are, this stuff doing all that stuff, and I didn't know.
It felt so important to the character for me because, I wore so much makeup on the show. I had hair extensions in. Yeah. I had everything pushed up and pinched and twisted and all of these things. And by the time the show was done, I was like, I feel so dumpy. I'm so glamorous on the show. And I had to get used to going into a different hair makeup trailer. I'm like, but why did it only take 20 minutes? It's got to take 2 hours at least. And, it was very much part of getting ready every day for me, but it is laborious to sit in that chair. Yeah,
it's fucking. I mean, it's an ordeal in itself. Especially for women, for God's sakes. Especially when you imagine going into a period piece, where it's all,
That's actually the only time I didn't mind it because I had a wig, and it felt like becoming a different person in a very real sense, rather than just trying to cover my zit and make me look pretty, which I cared a little bit less about, I think, than transforming into another person. That I could kind of.
I think that's what I felt about Beau's makeup. It was transformative. It wasn't just pretty, You need
it. Yeah. I'm always a person on this job I'm coming off of. The minute I put that gear on, I had this fucking really stylish kind of beard.
I love a beard.
Was that your beard or did?
No, this is a handle, not a handle, but a real mustache beard, kind of like goatee-ish, but full out beard. I'll send you a picture.
I feel like you could grow that though.
I could grow a beard in an hour.
That is a superpower.
Yeah, that's hey, it's on my CV, it's on my
special skills.
But listen, you just to get back to you asked what memorable moments or something on the show. I'll tell you something. When I was getting this thing up, there's one thing that I remember from working on that show. And do you remember when they got us to do that mega that crazy Earl Flynn sword fighting thing?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Do I remember?
Yeah. Rachel, let me tell you something. Here's what they did, right? I was only on TV. So they're talking about, all right, so we're going to have you doing some sword fighting. And it's just going to be a little bit of sword fighting. You're going to be sword fighting and just some sword fighting. And then
and followed by a bit more sword fighting. Yeah.
And I said, so when do you think you can send me? We're going to send you a link of an idea. We just put this little tiny thing together. It's a tiny thing, but sword fighting. And we just send it to you. So I open up the link. Open up the link on the computer, and holy fuck, it was like, what? Are you fucking having a laugh? Are you having a laugh? Flips.
A table, a thin, long table.
On a table. And it's all like this. Earl Flynn. And then
up and down the stairs. You walk backwards.
Then jump off the table, and then out through a back door.
Wait a second. I've seen this fight. It's up on the Lost Girl.
Well, there's a clip of you and I, Vincent, in a rehearsal. Just a very quick, there's no sound. Yes. It's just a clip of us rehearsing that. Because that was we didn't have long to rehearse.
But wait a second. Yeah.
Listen, we did that. Rachel, we rehearsed the day before for a day.
And,
it was a day.
And like, not even. It's not a skill I have. I mean, I sword fighting
I do it all the time.
And I remember my sword fight, like everything looked really big and lazy. Like I had a great stunt double who could make it look a little sharper. But I was like, good God. I mean, it felt like it was overwhelming, that sword fight. I can't believe I had really not thought about that. But yes, of course, it was.
Again, I'm good at bringing back nightmares. Anyway, so we had this thing didn't, like, when we thought it was over. No, mate, no. There's another whole fucking batch. You got to do all this down the stairs.
You had to walk backwards.
Winding stair.
Also, you had to walk backwards down the stairs?
Down the stairs. And there's a bit of dialogue in between all this stuff as well. But
that's my least favorite dialogue.
That is the hardest dialogue to learn. That's when I start. I literally have to go like 1, 2, say a line. But like I can't. Oh, look at the balloons.
Also, what's happening?
The balloons are going off.
Because you're on your phone.
Anyways. But then, as we nearing the end, like we can just about see the finish line. But every time we saw the finish line, they actually moved it a bit further.
It was exhausting.
And we jumped on this thing, and I remember you looking at me, and you just looked at me and went, "I'm really tired. Are you tired?" And I just looked at you and I went, "I'm fucked."
And action. Yeah, exactly. Action. Oh my God. That was probably one of the most challenging fights I did on the whole show, because just the learning curve alone and the quickness of it, and the fact that we're holding weapons and we're both actors, and like
and we didn't take each other's eyes out.
Thank goodness, Vincent. Thank you for that. I really appreciate having both.
It's actually amazing what we trust actors to do. We're all just kind of idiots, you know.
But you know, the funny thing is, we weren't actors around that time. We were just two lunatics going down the stairs with swords. I mean,
and we're filming it. Exactly. That's exactly. Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought that up. Have you done, or have you had any fan encounters over the years?
Any therapy? Any therapy? Yes.
Have you had any sword handling since? No, but have you had any specific Lost Girl fan encounters? Because I don't know if you know, Lost Girl fans reach far and wide and are a very devoted bunch.
Well, well, you're gonna laugh at this, and I'm not making this one up. I was my ex and we were in Lanzarote with the kids. And Lanzarote is a very well-known place where families go, because it does what it says on the tin. It's very, it's in Spain, and it's very child friendly, and it's really, you know, it just works. There's no, it's not loud. There's no clubs or anything like that. It's just what you want as young parents and two kids. My son would have been, I think, about 10, maybe 11, and my daughter would have been about, 7 or 8. Anyway, so we're sitting in this really nice little restaurant by the sea, and these two women are looking way over there, and they're looking over at me, and one goes, "Are you in Lachlan? You play Lachlan in the thing?" And I went, "What?" I said, "Yeah," and she says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm in Lanzarote. This is when my family, we come here all the time." "Really? And we love you on the show." And I was like, that is
out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere, like this, out of fucking. And then there was a time I was in London. I was around, where was I? I was in around Coventry, I think, and I was in a cafe, and again there were these two other girls there sitting down having coffees, and they made a point of recognizing me from the show. And I think it was just kind of, the show was in its, maybe it went into it was in its 3rd season, I think, maybe. Mm-hmm. So I thought I was pretty, I was amazing. That's pretty interesting.
Definitely.
You know?
I remember the first time I got recognized as Bo, I was in New York City with my husband, who's from New York. We were on the subway and this girl was like, oh my God, are you Bo from Lost Girl? And I was like, oh my God, yes, I am. And then I started to get more excited than she was. And my husband was like, okay, you need to back off now. Like, play it cool.
Like,
play it cool. Yeah, right.
Okay.
I was just so excited because it was so unexpected, Are you in a band? Do you have a band? Is that you singing on your Instagram? I went on a link on your Instagram. Is that you singing?
Yeah. That's me singing. Yeah,
Rachel, have you heard it?
Yeah.
Okay. No. I'm officially a fangirl. It's incredible. I'm from the East Coast of Canada. So that's the kind of music I grew up with, right? Like you go to the bar, you sing some sort of sea shanty and you whack the table and it's like, that's like in my bones, which I know is hard to believe, but it is. And I was clicking on it. I was like, I bet that's Vincent singing. And it is. That's so cool. You have to hear it, Rachel.
Well, Anna, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is something else. I got roped in with a couple of bands back in the day. I play guitar and all that stuff. So we were in this band, and actually, funny enough, the guy who was the guitarist on one of those tracks, on a bunch of those tracks, he and I paired up and created more music. But he used to be. That's
we love dogs.
We love dogs.
Hang on a second. Hold on. Bear with me a second. Stop me.
I feel like the more you talk to them, the more they bark. They're like, what?
I know. The more you're like, please stop. Okay. The more they're like, ah. Oh my goodness.
I tell you something. She's this little cockadoodle. She's a doodle, one of those doodle dogs. She's the most beautiful little thing. Beautiful little thing. She attack you with kisses, but her her bite is sorry, not her bite, her bark.
We have two small dogs, and
her bite is crazy.
And a bite is lunatic. Down, Fever, down, Fever. Sorry, there was some. I just wanted to break what we were talking about.
Your band and your singing,
The band. There was a guy, Dave Sweeney, who played in a band back in the 80s, big band called the Vipers, and they opened up for the Jam. And they were great friends with Paul Weller, and Paul Weller and the Jam were a massive band, mods back in the 80s and 90s and whatever. Anyway, and he used to pal around with Pete Townsend and Phil Lynott and stuff. That's the pedigree. I was playing with these guys just. Anyway, but that was to me. So I'm really actually very touched that you.
It was great. It was wonderful. We'll have to, play it for people because it's pretty phenomenal. So let's summarize this. You play guitar, you sing. You're a great actor. You can kind of sword fight, and you can grow a beard in 1 hour. These are skills much, beyond. Vincent, thank you for coming on the podcast. I swear this is going to make fans so happy to hear from you because, we
actually did a poll and asked, who would you like to see for season 2? And yours was the number one name people asked for.
No,
it was.
I pay them handsomely.
I love it.
Just checks. I'm writing checks all the
go balance your checkbook. And we are excited for people to hear this interview, and we really thank you for your time and giving us your time. And honestly, I feel cooler just having been in your presence for the last 30 minutes. So thank you for.
God. Now I have to write you a check.
You can just make it out to me directly. It's totally fine. Thank you, Vincent Walsh, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we will see you on the next one. All right. Should we go to do some voicemails?
Yeah, a little
VMs. Okay. This first one is from Laura.
Hello, Rachel and Anna. This is Laura, and I'm sorry this little visit doesn't also accompany some chocolates and candies for you, as usual, but I'm hoping we can do that again one day. First off, huge congratulations to you, Rachel, you and your family. So excited for you. And I'm glad the podcast is back. My question is, have either of you or the cast ever done or thought about doing a sketch show like the Baroness von Sketch Show? I think you all would be amazing in it. It would be hilarious to see it with the whole cast. But have any of you ever done such a thing? Thank you. Have a great day.
Huh.
That's such an interesting, good voicemail.
I've never been asked that question.
That's because you're underratedly funny.
Yeah,
people don't automatically think of you as funny, but you're very funny.
I'm hilarious.
You are hilarious. I think it'd be really fun to do. We basically do sketch comedy on our panels.
We do. And between takes on the show, we did a lot of sketch comedy, but I've never done I've never really been given the opportunity to do something like that.
No, people don't think I'm funny either.
You're very funny.
Well,
actually, you and
I think I'm funny.
We should do it together.
Neither of us are funny. We just both think the other's funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Like, why is nobody watching this? It's so funny.
Now, it is an excellent question, Laura, and I feel like if we're given the opportunity, we would do it.
For sure. Yeah. But I think it actually is it's interesting because as an actor, it opens up this sort of conundrum that a lot of actors have when they talk about being typecast into certain things. Mm-hmm. And I think you get to a point in your career where people either believe that you're funny or they don't believe that you're funny. Mm-hmm. Like you've done sitcoms or you've done dramas so I rarely ever get an audition to be funny.
No, me too.
I begged for things to be funny. And people just don't believe me as that.
They just go, they're like, that's nice that you want to do that, but we need you for this.
But it's also, it is very different being funny on a show and being funny in real life. So not to take anything away from the actors who are comedic actors, because that is a skill all unto its own.
It's harder to take material and like funny material and make it funny and keep it funny. You know, it's a real skill. So but I would definitely take the opportunity. And Laura, yes, I know exactly who you are when you talk about chocolates and snacks and treats. So thank you. And I hope to see you again at another con real soon. Please bring chocolate. Okay. Another voicemail. The next one is from Karen. Let's take a listen.
Hello, ladies. My name is Karen, and I'm probably one of your older fans. I was wondering if you thought that Lost Girl could be replicated.
I guess by replicated, she means like a reboot, not a reboot, but like a remake with a new cast.
Well, I personally think Lost Girl has been replicated in many different shows.
I think it has too.
Since.
Mm-hmm. It's certainly inspired other shows.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had conversations, not to name specific shows, but we've had conversations where we're like, oh my gosh, that's sort of like a Lauren and a Bo and a Kenzie and you know, those character archetypes. Mm-hmm. But could it have a reboot? I mean, I feel like our cast has been talking about a reboot since we wrapped the last episode.
I feel like they could do a remake, meaning like get a whole new younger cast. And
I'm dead. So like I'm really dead.
Yeah, but you're dead in the world of Fae. Come on, let's stay in the real world.
But like I'm really dead. It's my last life. Like Valkyrie lore.
Until I find really the secret something where I mix it into the sauce and sprinkle it over you and then you come back.
Sure. I'm just visualizing you like saucing me up. My very dead corpse.
I feel like we could also do a reboot where we bring the whole cast back together. I think creatively it would really work. The whole cast comes back together. We've all grown up. We've all matured. In the opening scene is a spell that Trick does. Oh no, he can't. He died too. Someone has to do a spell and then brings all the other cast back and we're like, oh, you guys are back. And then we just take it from there.
But I also love how you said we've all grown up. Like we weren't already grown up. So when we filmed the original.
Yes, we were children. We've all matured.
Just children in our late 20s and late 30s.
I feel like actors still feel like children.
Peter Pan syndrome, man. I'm telling you. It's Peter Pan syndrome.
But it is an excellent question, Karen. And, we'll keep you posted. Certainly nothing that's in the works at the moment, but it is a great idea.
But hey, this podcast wasn't in the works until someone suggested it. So you never know.
It's true. All right. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Laura.
Bye.
Bye, Rachel.
See
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Lost Girl Rewatch podcast, which is produced by Anna Silk, Rachel Skarsten, and Seth Cooperman, with theme music by our very own Blood King, Rick Howland. Please rate, review, and share the Lost Girl Rewatch podcast. This enables us to grow and to continue bringing you exciting new content every week. If you don't already, follow us on Instagram and on our YouTube channel at Lost Girl Rewatch. You can also subscribe to Patreon, where you will get exclusive video access to all of our episodes.